Right.
Awesome. Awesome. Okay, Ashley, do you want to kick it off or do you want me to kick it off?
I mean, when you say that, I'm like, sure, of course I'll kick it off because I'm so excited.
Yeah, girl.
So and I want to be clear on this, our purpose of doing this and the reason that each of you decided to take your time tonight to do this is because all of us together want to make sure that we didn't just do a really cool thing for a few days, but that we're actually able to take that and not necessarily for all of you will it be creating a business that's lasting, but it'll be being excited about your friends you just enrolled or your friends you just shared with and how you can equip them, grow them, and help them learn to do the cool thing you just did. And that really is our way of, yes, this business is serious. Yes, this business for sure takes work. So I don't want to undercut that. But just to be aware, all of us can share. Anyone can share. And we're here tonight to just affirm and get excited, but also make sure that you have actual tangible things that for the next, what do we have, 10 days? Yeah. For the next 10 days, you're like, oh, I know what I'm doing because I've done it before. I can do it again and I can teach someone else to do it. So that's really just where we're coming from. And we're going to do our best. We're going to be concise and we're going to make sure that we really give y'all some real ways to do that.
Yay, love it. Always so good, Ashley. She's always so good at the lead in. I love it. The sale was amazing, you guys. Like just to compare when you look at last month to this month, people, like you guys did an amazing job getting new people in here. But here's what I want to tell you. The sale was awesome, but you can do this. You can have this momentum anytime. You don't have to wait for a 10% off sale to decide to hit the ground running and go for it. Like you can do this all the time. And if anything, for those of you who are brand new to sharing and you just shared with the first time, like you can do this all the time. So, we wanted to go over some quick tips to kind of help you to understand like, okay, you help somebody to enroll, what's next? That's the big sort of question mark, right? So number one is, I think it's really just about making sure that they're plugged in. They're plugged into our resources, right? You sent them a welcome email. They are plugged into videos or new member orientation. Ashley's got a fantastic 101 video. Like make sure they've got resources that they can look at and review before they even get their kit. Like, so by the time they get their kit, it's like they already know how to use everything. That's so important. And like just a great way to teach our people to get off on the right foot. And the second thing, I'm going to lead in with this and then I'm going to let Ashley talk about this because she's the master at this, is, you need to give permission to yourself and to that new member to start sharing before they even get their kit. And I want to say this because, someone who gets their kit, like when I got my kit, like I was excited waiting for my kit to come, right? We didn't have Wild Go back then. So it's like I couldn't get the overnight shipping, but like the anticipation of getting it, like that is such a perfect time to tell your member, like you're excited to get your kit. Go tell your mom, your neighbor, your girlfriend. Go tell them to get a kit too so that you guys can like crack open the box and look at the oils together. And I want Ashley to share her story because she did this way back almost 5 years ago. She was amazing. Ashley, tell your story.
So Tracy was also amazing because clearly she's like, you should get the kit. And then once you get the kit, here's how you share. And so in my mind, it wasn't salesy. It was absolutely like, this is what people do. I just did it for you. And so like we create new neural pathways in our brain, right? Where we say things and learn things. And so for me, it's been in my brain the entire time that I will spend 300 PV on ER because the products are good for me. Because Tracy told me when you spend 300 PV, you get free stuff. And I was like, oh, so that's smart. And then she was like, if you share, then you can make money. And I was like, oh, well, and I was a teacher then. I didn't make a lot of money. So to me, I was like, that would be fun. Here, I want you to hear me. People that are sharing for the first time are not motivated the same way you are. I, in my head, literally was like, that would be fun. My second thing is, oh, I could earn my stuff for free. Okay, so if I spend $300 a month, it's only 6 people. So I want you to hear that mindset. Don't judge other people's mindset because that literally was my mindset then and it still is now that like, you can cover your 300 PV order. Why do we dream and make people tiny and say, well, you can just sign up 2 friends and it'll cover it'll kind of cover about, some of it. If you do 3, it'll really cover all of it. But 10 bucks. Like it sounds so timid. And that's not the way that Tracy spoke to me. That's not the way I responded. And it has been but it's trained. It's belief building. So for me, I was like, okay, well, this month I need to sign up 20 friends because I can make $1,000. And if someone else can make $1,000, I can too. And so that is true of all of you on this call. If someone else has done it before, you can do it too. Roger Bannister breaking the 4-minute mile. I will never, ever, ever apologize for using the story. But once he did it, the next week, 16 other people did it because they believed he'd die. They believed his body would explode. And once it didn't, everyone's like, oh, look. Oh, I'm a fast joker. I'm going to go run that too. Like, same thing with you guys. You run hard, you run fast. And that's what I was able to do because I started sharing right away. I enrolled 2 people before I got a kit in my hand. And this is at all, please don't hear me wrong, not at all in a boastful way about this, but I got timid in my business the way I said this. And this past weekend, I had 3 people I enrolled also share and give someone the opportunity to get started with oils before they got their kit. And that is literally mindset and me believing that they could do it and them saying, oh, it's a natural thing. Of course I would share. Making it natural. And the way they make it natural is a post on Facebook. Y'all, I just got a premium starter kit. It's on its mail on the way. Can't wait to get started on my oily journey. Who else is curious about oils? And then guess what they write in the comments? Hey, check out this recorded class. They don't write my upline, my joker friend. Like, they don't write anything weird. They're like, my friend Ashley or this, awesome person. And like, same thing we'd say about Tracy or about Becky or whoever's class it is. You would say, watch this. And then they follow up and they just say, what do you think? Well, the best way to get started is how I got started. I don't know what the heck I'm doing. You won't either. Let's learn together. So guys, that worked for me. And I'm so sad that I lost it for a couple of years. What I mean is I lost it because it made me nervous. And now that is definitely how I lead. That's how I enroll people. When I look at my personally enrolled, for sure, the way that I work with them is that they all are sharing somehow. So that's the goal, because sharing's fun and creating community is fun. And it's not for your silver or your gold or your platinum to do. It's for all of us to do.
Yeah, that is so good. You're always so good when you're talking. I love that because I feel like I've been talking to a lot of women, just doing sort of, follow-up calls with people. And there's something about women and permission, right? Like, men don't really have this. It's like women need to give each other the permission to do it, whether it's like, it's okay to put on your nice dress when you're just staying at home. It's okay that you want to spend 3 hours at the grocery store because your kids are driving you crazy. It's okay if you want to, enroll your mom, your best friend, whatever. It's okay if you want to enroll 10 people and make $1,000 this month. I love what you said about, don't put your limiting belief on people and say, just enroll 2 friends. What if they wanted to enroll 10 friends? Like, tell them what's possible, give them the permission to do it. Sharing is so easy. You guys know this. And easily every person you've ever enrolled could easily share with 1 or 2 other people. They've got a mom, a sister, a best friend, a neighbor. Every single person you have ever enrolled could easily enroll 1 other person. So it's sort of, making it so easy for them that they want to do that. So before they even get their kit, like we're saying, tell them that they can start sharing, because if they hear that message from the very beginning, some will be ready right then. Some will be ready after they get their kits. Some may be ready a few months after that. But the thing is like when they consistently hear that message, right? Sometimes we have to hear the same message over and over and over before we say, yes, let's do it, before we give ourselves that permission. But if you start doing it from the beginning, you've just sort of set yourself up. You've set your member up, right, to be open to the opportunity versus, you know what, they just got their kit. I'm going to wait maybe 3 or 4 months before I tell them about the opportunity. Why would you do that, right? Because then it could take another 3 to 6 months before they actually start doing it. So if you have those limiting beliefs, it's time to kind of break free. I'm giving you the permission to break free of that and to just think that everybody has an opportunity to share. It may be small, it may be big, but leave the opportunity open for people, give them the permission to do it. It's amazing. So the other thing that I would suggest is, you may have heard me talk about this before. I think sometimes when we first enroll people, we have a tendency to be like, okay, they're in. I'm just going to skedaddle out of here, maybe check in with them next month and see how they're doing. And I don't want you to lean out like that. I think we feel like, are we over communicating with people? Are we bugging them? But this is the thing. They got their kit. They're super excited. They want to know all the things. So again, plug them into the resources, give them permission to start sharing. But once they get their kit, right, like in the next week, 5 days, follow up with them and go, hey, you got your kit. That's so exciting, right? You could even tell them, text me when you get your kit. You got your kit. That's so exciting. Let's break open this box together. Let's do a quick call. Let's make sure you know how to use all of them. lean into them. Make sure that they have all the resources, that they feel supported, right? You have to kind of get over that feeling of like, oh, am I bugging them? They want to hear from you because they're so excited. How many times have we known people who get their kit and they get so overwhelmed, they just let it sit there because they're too afraid to open the box, right? I've known many people have done that. So you need to be that person to reach out and go, let's do this together. It's so fun. It's okay. You don't need to know how to use everything. Just start using it. Build up your own stories. You don't have to be the expert. So, really kind of leaning into people, again, when they get their kit, when they first sign up, so they feel that support. Ashley, what do you think?
Absolutely. And with flip kits, if you're someone who is doing that, I'm just saying that because for me, what happens a lot when I do it, because I do them a ton locally, what I don't do a lot is post like, hey, I have 3 kits. I did that the other day and it felt very unauthentic for me, just to be real, because I actually like to I'll share what a flip kit is. I like to give a flip kit to someone where I can like sense that they might be apprehensive, first of all, where they're like, oh, I'm going to order it. It's going to kind of work out. And I'm like, oh, geez, let's get these in your hands now. Or where they have waited months and months and they've saved their money and they want the kit right now. I love just saying to them, hey, well, guess what, Jenny, I have a kit on hand and you can actually take it home. So I love that. And I also love closing a class with, hey, guys, I know there's 15 of you here and you all are so pumped up to join this community and get your starter kit. But the first 3 of you, you'll get to take home the starter kit. And don't worry, everyone else's will come in about a week. But these first 3 ladies, we're going to see who it is. Whoever jumps up and gets started, just go on over to these 2 computers we have set up. And then everyone can visibly see that these people are going to walk away from the kit. And the people are back there, they're like, oh no, this ain't happened to me again. I got all the FOMO in the world. I am getting that kit. So a flip kit is when you order a kit on your own account. So I have Desert Mist diffusers. I have 2 Desert Mist and 1 Dewdrop. And when someone orders their kit, they can order it on their own account, use my shipping address, or I'll pick it up from them if they're super close. And they take home my kit. So it literally is me saying, here's my kit. You can have it. You paid for your own kit. I'm going to take your own kit back. You don't get your money back. It's an absolute investment in your business. I like to be clear about that because people get really confused. You're not selling that kit. You're still having them get their own account. You're giving them this kit in hand, and they're replacing the kit you gave them with their own kit. It's an opportunity for another in-person interaction that I find I do that most often. I get it shipped to their house, and then I'm like, hey, 7 to 10 days from now when your kit gets here, let's just get together for 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and let's see how you're doing with what you have. So the reason that's key is then you follow up and you don't have to wait or think about it. It's like people with flip kits, I find that night, I'm like, hey, Tina, and I mean, she's a real person, just rolled her a couple days ago. Hey, Tina, I asked her last night, what did you diffuse tonight? And she's like, what? She literally, sorry if it's offensive, she's like, what the hell is this roller fitment? It doesn't fit anything. I don't understand. Pan away, I'm so confused. It burned on my finger. Like, it's stuff that I'm like, of course she thought, like, here's the deal. If you're not in your Facebook groups and you don't know how to search, they don't know what they're doing. If they don't know the search function in Facebook, most people have no idea what they're doing, because I can guarantee all of you guys, you or your upline, you're not posting about those 11 PSK oils over and over and over again. You probably should be, but you're probably not doing it in a way where they just find that information at their fingertips. So that was a whole lot at once, but I want you to think about the strategy of leaning in. It's unnatural for me, and again, something I've self-corrected, because a lot of times I felt like I was chasing this giant fish, and then I got the fish, and I brought it home and probably ate this fish, and I was like, this is awesome. Let's celebrate this giant fish. And then I had to realize that the next day I probably needed to continue eating. And there were leftovers of the fish in the refrigerator, but I decided to go chase a new fish. I got back on the boat and got a new fish when there were stinking leftovers that I needed to make sure I was eating because I was wasting. That was a random analogy. Don't know if it works for you, but I want you to think about food when you cook it. You forget about the leftovers because you ignore them. They're actually there. And they're like a giant thing on your shoulder you need to care for and take care of and dispose of or eat. But you would rather prefer to go chase new fish. So guys, it's fun to chase new fish, but your team, your bread and butter is your team using and loving their starter kit. And we're not going to talk in depth about it, but getting on Essential Rewards, because it's replacement buying and it's them truly being committed to a lifestyle of wellness. So Tracy, what else can we do right now? Where are we?
That's so good. Really good analogy. Here's one more thing I just kind of want to put out there is, you touched on it a little bit, is the dependence on Facebook. Right? So we think we just enrolled our new member. We're going to put them in our group or our leaders groups, tag them on a post, and then I can walk away. That's it. That's all I need to do. And I just want to be really clear, because you really hit the nail on the head. When they go into our Facebook groups, if we are on Facebook. Ashley and I are on Facebook all the time. So we know it in and out. We know it's in there. But to a new member, when they get in there, they're like, oh my gosh, there's all this information. What am I supposed to do with this? They don't know where to go. So, I just want to put out there, especially if you are a newer person who's just starting to enroll other people, is Facebook is a great community. We have a lot of good information in there, but it can be really overwhelming for people. So tagging them on a pinned post or a new member orientation post, it's a great start, but it doesn't replace the communication that you really need to do with people. You can't just tag someone and go, all right, I'm tapping out. I'm good, right? I did my due diligence. Really, your due diligence is that follow-up, the phone call, the text, the email, whatever communication method works for that person. So, really remember that. And also remember, I am on Facebook all the time. Maybe Ashley is too, but even I miss things, right? So if I get tagged on something, I will easily miss it. So just because you tag them doesn't mean I see it. I miss stuff all the time. So make sure you pick up the phone, send the message, really, like we said, lean in, but be really high touch. I think I want you guys to really think about this, the compensation plan, okay? So you get that $25 and then it's 25% that you make in the first 3 months. Young Living is paying you to lean in and to be super high touch because they know, right, just from the business perspective, the first 3 months of a member's, start beginning into a company, that's really when they're most excited. That's when they're most open, right, to learning about all the different things that Young Living has. So you're getting compensated for that. So, like we said earlier, lean in, make sure you're following up, show them all the things, be really high touch. There's lots of different ways that you can do that. That's probably, we're going to have to save for another call. But, you think you're communicating too much, and I'm telling you right now, you're not. I'm telling you, you're not. Yeah.
Yes. Just feeding back off of that, I love this because, guys, it empowers the person who enrolls. Tracy just said you're rewarded for enrolling, but it empowers that person. Here's the deal, and I want to just say this and introduce this as a concept. A lot of us have people that enroll that might not do the follow-up. Instead of carrying around a negative mind, because a negative mind never leads to a positive life, like it's actually scientifically true, like doesn't work. What you do is if you say, hey, my friend Kelly blessed me with these 7 new members. So I am going to talk to Kelly about what she's doing, and I'm not putting pressure on Kelly, but I'm going to hear her. And if Kelly's like, hey, that was awesome. I'm really busy this month and it was super cool. Maybe in December I'll have a make and take. So what you heard her say, and you repeat back to her, is, okay, Kelly, so what I heard you say is that you're going to be really busy and you're so excited about what you're doing and the oils, but you're not going to be doing anything with Sharon again until December. And she's like, yep, Ashley, thanks so much for teaching the class. Awesome. It is in my court, especially if I enrolled Kelly that enrolled her friends, like especially that, because I am who she's communicating with. I then am going to, in a unresentful manner, not in, oh, well, I could have earned that $350 if Kelly would have let me enroll her friends. No, they were her friends. Joker, you didn't have any right to enroll her friends. You are going to say, I get to make 10%. So I got to make, guys, you just got to make $300 if she enrolled, wait, that's like wrong equation. That's if she enrolled 30 people. You got to make $30 off of 3 people, and you got to make $300 off 10. So I guess that was right. Be thankful for that, and be thankful for the fact that if Kelly enrolled all those people, she's building your team. And if you're trying to hit executive, that's a whole leg for you. Like, she just built your executive leg. What a blessing. So guys, remember that your mindset comes out in the way that you speak to people. It comes out in your writing. It comes out in your attitude. And you can change your mind and you can change your attitude. And those will transform your words and your behavior. So be thankful for people who work this business. Every single person on your team that enrolls one person, show them gratitude. You don't have to send them a cool package or a gift. You can if you want to, but what you do need to do is just say thanks for sharing. Like, it's awesome that you shared. When behaviors are affirmed in each of us, we repeat the behavior. So affirm that behavior, and don't worry on the back end if they're ever going to do it again, or if they're serious, or if they're gunning for diamond. Like, it doesn't actually matter. And remember, guys, your team, each and every person on it, they do get to be on your team, and you get to be their leader. That doesn't mean you're always the person they go to, but you are able to speak into them and you're able to lead them, and you're equipped and you're called to do it.
I love it. And I just want to add one more thing. See, we love to do this. We love to ping pong off of each other. We didn't script any of this at all. But what I was going to add is that the recognition, you touched on it just a little bit, but that recognition goes so far. So if you had someone who just enrolled their first member, like really make them feel special. Like you did it. That's amazing, right? Facebook, text message, like you just help someone make a huge change in their life. Like make a really big deal about it, you know? So the recognition goes so far, so much more than any kind of incentive, monetary gift, just the fact that you're recognizing that they enrolled. And so for any of you, are any of you guys on tonight first time enrollers? If you are, you are amazing. We're so proud of you. And you're on this call too, which would be fantastic. But really sort of take that energy and really pour that in. Love what Ashley said, right? You get to be their leader, be that leader. That is fantastic. So Ashley, do you have anything else to add?
I just actually want to can you give us some quick tips to do the end of this month, outside of just working hard to enroll people, because that's our main goal. What else can we do?
Yes. So you guys know me. I am like the numbers person. So what I like to do is figure out like, what am I trying to achieve this month? For some of you, it could be a rank goal. It might be an OGV goal. Maybe it's getting volume in a leg. Try to kind of figure out what that is and then kind of work backwards. So what, for instance, right? Like if I was at 3,000 and I'm trying to get to executive at 4,000 in OGV, you know, what I think is, okay, between now and the end of the month, I need 1,000 in volume. I need 1,000 in OGV, and I break it up into 100 increments, right? Because that's a new PSK, that's a new person on Essential Rewards. So I'm like, okay, I need 10 people, maybe 5 people getting a PSK, 5 people on Essential Rewards. Now I have a game plan and I can move forward and figure out, okay, how many classes do I need to teach? How many people do I need to follow up to get on ER? And think about that. That volume is for my whole team. So I can even work with my team to figure out like what their goals are. And I think that's really important. Whatever your goals are, right? Think about the people on your team. Is there anybody who's trying to get to star, first rank in the company? That's huge, right? 500 in OGV, or senior star. You know, really kind of think about that and work together on those goals, and sort of work towards that and show them how it can be done. That same exercise of figuring out what do you need, break it up into 100 PV increments, and then create like a game plan. What do you like to do, Ashley?
I am not as detailed and I want to be. So Tracy, that's why I'm like, I asked you because I just think it's super helpful. But for me, a lot of times what I do like to do is I like to know their numbers before I ask them what their plan is. Like before I ask them, I like to have already looked and know what they're doing. But I also really, really rely heavily on me looking at numbers to know that close to ring thing. Like today, I looked at 3 people I enrolled this month that are less than $50 from Star. And I'm like, that's stupid. Like it is literally, sorry again if I use bad language that you don't like, but it's stupid for me as their leader to not get them. First of all, they need to spend $10 in OGV because they need to have 100 PV to be a star, which is dumb that I didn't get them doing that in the first place. And then they need to basically either get someone else to spend $14, or to me, I would never say that. You know what I would say? Let's help you share with one more friend this month, Christine, because after you share with one more friend, you'll earn $50 more, plus you will cover that $10 order you need to place because you know there'll be tax and shipping too. Hey, I'm actually going to go ahead and give you a $10 product credit for that PV part, and you'll just cover the shipping and tax. That's just like, so strategy, the whole thing is, guys, that's a strategy that for me, I don't offer incentives to people usually that are widespread. They're usually targeted and they're usually for a reason. Like someone ranking up is so exciting for them and for me. So I'm not going to say like, I'm not going to make it so it's a whole bunch of money, but literally if it's the case from this month where we have that 90 PV, that's something I plan to do just because I want them to not feel like I'm cheating them out of like, let's place another order. I don't want them to feel rushed. I've already talked to them about ER. I want you to think about that too. If you've already talked to people about ER, then these next 10 days, you're not having to feel like you're pushing it hard. It's like something you've said. You probably sent them a video, maybe text them about it, you followed up about it. And now you're just saying, hey, if you are ready to get started on that Essential Rewards program that I know we weren't ready for at the beginning of this month when you enrolled, we'll go ahead and need to push your order through if it's after the 25th. So just message me. I'll take care of it for you. I just need your PIN number. By the way, did you know that at 300 PV, and if you're not able to invest at that level in your health, 250 and 190, we actually offer free products, super cool, And so I just make sure that I look at the numbers, but I'm not super good at, just being real, I'm not super good at drilling down always in the details. So I make sure I'm doing it to a point where it makes sense for that person is. This is why y'all should be like, Tracy's amazing. She has had to deal with me for 4 years and she has influenced me so much, but she's an amazing leader and a friend and someone that I appreciate daily. And I'm saying it to y'all because I want you to think about being on this call. For a lot of you guys, you are on this call with multiple people in your upline. Just pause and reflect. That is not a normal business. You don't usually have access to people that are like 20 levels above you. But love that and realize like it's community driven, and you on here tonight, you get to do that. So you get to do it by telling people about their numbers, by enrolling people, by telling people how to enroll people. But it's an honor and it's a privilege, and I'm just thankful that we all get to do it together.
Oh, Ashley is the sweetest. She makes this business so fun. As you can see, we are a bit yin and yang. She is like super high energy, super relational. I learned so much from her. I'm like, tell me how I need to talk. She's so good. But I do love the details. And so we often chat a lot. And so, this is what's so great about this business is like I didn't know Ashley, by the way, did you guys know this? She enrolled completely through my blog. We didn't know each other and we've become like best friends in life and in the business. Like I want this for all of you to meet your best friend, right? Doing this together, which is so fun. But you guys, I just want to tell you so much great advice from Ashley about, following people, figuring out like how to talk to them in a way that makes sense to them, drilling down the numbers. I love what she said, that she was trying to figure out who was close to star, who was close to a rank, senior star. Those are really, really big deals. The other thing I want to add is some really easy things that you can look out for is who missed out on their ER order, right? Like usually around this time of the month, like right around the 20th of the month or so, I have a calendar event that every single month, that's when I do it, because you don't want to wait too long, right? This is when I start to reach out to people and go, hey, it looks like your ER order didn't go through. What can I do to help you? So that you're helping the people from the 1st to the 19th. And then as you get closer to the end of the month, then I start looking at like, okay, who in the last week of the month has missed their ER order? So it's not like so overwhelming to do at the end of the month. But that's a huge opportunity. Your money missers, right? Like Oily Tools is a great application that you can use where you can find out who is missing their commissions. I mean, who wants to miss out on commissions, right? So I've helped so many people by saying, oh my gosh, girl, your ER order didn't go through. You didn't spend your 100 PV. Maybe something went out of stock. And so it knocked their order down to 90 versus 100. Being able to reach out and provide that kind of support to people is fantastic. This is what we do. This is sort of like what the end of the month hustle looks like right around this time. So beginning of the month, I'm like coming up with ideas for product education. What kind of videos am I going to do? I send out, information about the Young Living promos, right? I do all of that in the beginning of the month because I know this sort of last week of the month, it's like, okay, who's missing stuff? Who needs to do this? Who's doing all of this? Who is close to rank, right? It's like you're using kind of a different part of your brain and you're going into like full on hustle mode. So you don't want to be doing all those other things, right? Like here are the promos. How can I teach you about, all these other things, the product education, the creation. You don't want to be doing that now. Okay, this is when you need to like full on be in hustle mode. So that's what I would recommend doing. Also, I know Ashley would have a lot more to talk about this because she teaches a lot more in-person classes than I do. But this is about the time of the month when you also want to start scheduling what's going on next month, right? You want to sort of start your next month, right? Before this current month has even ended. Start lining up your classes. Start thinking about who wants to host classes. Start thinking about, what else you can kind of put in your calendar, whether it's vendor events, whether it's leadership meetings, whether it's member parties, community events. Like start thinking about that now so that you're not scrambling on the 1st or 2nd of the month thinking, I got to fill up my calendar, right? You want to work out a little bit ahead. Ashley, do you have more to add to that?
I did, because I used to be really bad at this. And I learned a lesson that like on-demand creativity is what I would call our business. We don't get spontaneous creativity moments. We get on-demand. In other words, like I sit down at my computer and I'm like, how am I going to reach more people next month? Because I spend a lot of my time teaching one-on-one classes for new members because I make it very normal. So next week I have 5 one-on-one classes because I've enrolled people that need to share with their friends. So it's not a stressful thing. It's a natural, like, of course you want to have a class to share with your friends because that's what everyone does. So I personally don't do a lot of one-on-one classes that are for prospects because I tend to enroll a lot one-on-one or through social media, and then there's still a lot of local people. That's besides the point, but I wanted to be clear because some people are like, what is she saying? So for me, for October, I'm doing some different kinds of classes that I've never done before, and I'm pumped about them. But that means I need to get butts and seats. And to get people with their calendars and having this as a priority, I absolutely like to have my stuff out not more than 3 weeks. I've found that for me with in-person stuff, like more than 3 weeks, people are super sketched. They just say maybe or interested. And that's not helpful for me for planning, especially if it's a paid event. So now what I do a lot is I post a lot on my personal timeline. I just did it last night. Like, who wants to make elderberry syrup with 4 oils in it, right? Like I buy elderberry syrup. I'm making it, just to be clear, with oils to get prospects at my house that are interested in natural health and wellness and don't have oils. So every single class I do is still basically a 101 with a twist. Like, we had a hormones class the other night. I'm so interested in hormones, but I absolutely want women who are suffering with hormonal issues to come to my class and find oils as their key. Wine and oils classes, y'all, I mean, whatever you can do to be fun. I don't care if you don't like wine. People like wine. Like they like it. You should probably try that. Donuts and oils. I will eat, you know what? I don't eat donuts a lot. I'm going to eat a donut next Tuesday night. My friend's having oils and donuts class. I will sample a gourmet donut. That is great. And we'll talk about how they're processed and disgusting and how you need oils to get rid of them in your body. Like, it's totally fine. You do you and find it. But if you want these creative, fun types of classes, especially, you really, really need to plan in advance. And also, if you're doing regular weekly classes, I would encourage you to not say, I'm going to try Tuesday nights this month. It needs to be like a 3-month. Like, I'm doing Tuesday nights every week for 12 weeks. Because then you can post on Facebook and Instagram and email people. And it's very clear that you're like, here's my schedule, here's my topics, here's a series of classes on your toxin-free life. All you do is talk for 10 minutes about a different topic and sell them the PSK, right? Like, guys, you get to own your own business and you get to do this in a way that makes sense for you. So absolutely think big, dream big, and remember, you get to do it your own way, and you don't have to ask your upline, what kind of classes do you like teaching? Because if they answer you back, well, pregnancy and babies, and they have 11 kids, like, you might say, I'm 23 years old and I am don't even know if I want to be married. Not sure I want to teach about pregnant bellies. Like, you get to do your own thing. I'm sorry if I over exaggerate, but I really want y'all to be clear on this, that you get to do this on your own with the advice and leadership of others, but it still gets to be you and your creativity that is different and marks you apart. Way too much talking, Tracy. You shouldn't have asked me to say anything else.
I love it. How much time do we have?
Well, we said 15 minutes. So, we have no time, but.
We did. Okay, good. Well, something that you touched on that I think is so great, especially for our more sort of seasoned leaders, but even people who are just starting to enroll, is I love what you said, wine and oils, moms and muffins, donuts and oils. I think sangria and spa day, right? With the beauty care products. I want to just tell you guys, like, it's the 101 class, but you're basically constantly repackaging it. I'm talking about decluttering on social media, but guess what? I'm talking about the PSK and how the oils from the PSK can support you while you're decluttering. Like, I want you to really kind of think outside the box here, because if it's sort of the 101 class, come to my 101 class, and you're saying that 20 times, like, people are going to be like, well, what's this thing that you're always teaching? But if you're always changing it up, like, who doesn't want to go to a wine and oils class, right? Or we're painting, I just told someone today, why don't you do like a scented Play-Doh class, right? With aromatherapy for like your play group.
Yes.
Like, constantly be thinking outside the box, you guys. Anything that you normally do with your children, with your family, you can create an oils class for that, right? Like, we're all about the beach and surfing. I was like, we could talk about the oils in the beach, right? Like, we could do anything, right? How to support yourself after you've been like in the sun, or like, you crashed on a wave or whatever. You could do oils for anything, you guys. So keep thinking outside the box, and how that really attracts people, right? Because you probably are friends with people who have similar interests. So when you talk about that, they'll be like, I want to go to that scented Play-Doh class. Tell me the next time that's happening. That sounds pretty awesome, right? Doesn't it sound fun? So really kind of think outside the box with that. It's the same class. You're just in the introduction, like Ashley said, for 10 minutes, you're talking about something else. Maybe you do a cool little fun activity that's related to that.
Yep.
That's it. It's super simple, but sometimes you do have to think outside the box a little bit.
It's fun.
I love it. I love it. So many good things. Okay, Ashley, I think, is it time to wrap it up?
I think so. I'm just excited to see all of your faces on here and the way that you're going to grow and expand beyond your own belief right now. And I just want to encourage you, as you do that, help someone else do it, because community is not fun by yourself. It is so much better together. Remember that, and every day speak that over yourself too. Like, you are healthy. You are walking in a new journey that is going to lead to big things, and you are helping and empowering others to do the same. Like, you're doing it, and it's awesome. So thanks for joining us tonight. I don't know what else to say, but y'all are great.
You guys were awesome. Ashley, always so much fun to do this with you. Thank you. Thank you, guys. All right. See you later.